Hey guys, it's me. I'm back to you with another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about a few things. The first portion is I'm going to be breaking down the best places that I have found for early grinding and pre-searing. Now, I've spent about 12 hours over the course of 3 different characters in my grind to Doom's GWAMM LDOA title. If you're interested in watching more of that and seeing me do that live, I recommend going over to my Twitch channel. That's where I'll be doing it all live, 5 to 9 Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Sunday. That time may shift. Just keep an eye on the schedule if that's something you're interested in. The next thing that we're going to cover, after we get done talking about the best places to grind, we're also going to cover how to get the early on best in slot gear from pre-searing. There are a total of 5 collectors. One for your boots, your gloves, your legs, your chest, and for your helmet. Once we have gone through all those, discussing what items you need to collect, the best places that I have found to collect those items, we have discussed the early level grind. We will move into where you will proceed to level from around 10 to 13. And then after that, we're going to show some clips from the grind that I've had thus far, some of the deaths, some of the things not to do, and then we'll wrap it up. With all that being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and I hope you stick around to the end. Thank you. All right, and we're live. So I was going to take some old clips and put this in here, but I decided it's easiest just to go straight from the beginning and show you step by step, every step from starting a new character at the very beginning like we are, to getting through the first set of getting all your armor, and then also some early level grinding spots that you can use after you grab that armor. So to dive in, we're going to first start out by me saying this. Don't make the mistake of turning in any of the quests. I know some people are like, oh, well, I have to accept the quest to go outside. No, you don't. All you have to do is walk straight outside. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go outside and we're going to do the intro level quest. Everybody has to do the intro level quest. Can't escape it. Can't dodge it. Anything like that. I'm also going to put the snippet in here as well. If you guys are looking at my UI and you're like, I wonder how I got that blue map. I wonder how he has this different type of UI. I actually have a YouTube video of that, so you guys can, I'll attach it at the end of this video so you guys can see it. If you're interested in that, just stick around to the end or skip to the end and it'll be attached at the very end. So the first thing we got to do, obviously, is finish the intro quest. Boom. Now we got a shimmering scale. Pick that up. All right. Fastest way to do this is just going to hit /resign. It does not affect your Doom title. I did not know this to begin with, so that's just a snippet of information as well. You can /resign. It will not affect your title. It's actually going to be a key thing into a lot of these runs that I'm going to show you for early farming, to get the levels up, to be able to get past the northern wall and safely do it. So with that being said, you'll come up here. This is the only quest that you're going to turn in. Go ahead, hit accept. So once we finish that, these river scale will respawn. Don't worry about that. We're going to run directly forward. First tip I'm going to give you. Grab Ashford Abbey. So now that we're in Ashford Abbey, we're actually going to knock out one thing. Right? We're going to go into the Catacombs. There's 2 things that you're going to want to get out of this Catacombs. Hey guys, it's me. I know this is cutting in the middle of the video. However, I will say this next portion that's coming up of me running through the Catacombs, I do explain it while I'm doing it, but I do know that this can be very boring stuff, so it is kind of important to watch it watch it all the way through, at least the portion of the Catacombs. I try to speed it up as much as I can inside of the run itself, but this at least shows the path of where you're going and why you're going to get there. I explain what you're getting out of here and everything like that. So just beware. Try not to skip it. If you do skip around, just try to do it by segmented, like 30-second intervals, and keep going forward until you see, just so that you get the routes correct and you know exactly where to go and how to get there the fastest way. Thank you. I just want to throw this in here. Hope you enjoy. To start either of the early level farming methods, you have to be level 2. So this gives you that little like fast forward button, essentially, to get to level 2. Elementalist, I would say, is probably one of the easier classes to level in pre-searing, only because of how strong of an AoE grind it has, and as well as the healing for energy storage is just, it's kind of overpowered early on. As you can see, I'm constantly healing myself every time I spam flare, and I'm having no issues just blowing through these people. actually summon the imp. Like I said, the imp's only to make this a little bit faster. I'm going to leave this portion in the video just because this is going to be a route on how to get to these certain items. So, but the thing that we're aiming for here is once we kill all these restless corpses, we're going to go down this path up here to the far, like in the back and to the far right. So you can dodge this one over here. Just make sure that your inner aggro circle doesn't touch him. Your imp might aggro him, highly doubt it. So the one thing that you must know if you are going to use the imp is the imp always aggroes. If it is something that you're trying to dodge and the imp can see it, it will attack it. So just know, if you have your imp out, you're probably not getting by without attacking something. While it's beneficial in the beginning, it becomes quite the pain towards the end. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so now we're here. These spiders are the reason why we come over here. To grab their spider legs. You only need 3 of these. I've messed this up several times, and every time I come here, for anybody that watches my live stream, you've seen me get 5 every time, because I forget you only need 3, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. But after the, I don't know, 7 or 8 times I've done this, you only need 3. If you're lucky, you'll get it just like I did just then, and instead of running back, you're going to save time by just slash resigning. That's going to take us back to Ashford Abbey, and then we're going to enter into the Catacombs one more time. Alright, the second time we're coming into the Catacombs, we're looking for a different item. The item we're looking for the second time we come into the Catacombs is the gargoyle skulls. So the gargoyle skulls is what is required for your second armor piece. The spider legs is what we got for our first one that we're collecting for, and then the gargoyle skulls will give us the second. Highly recommend. The main thing that you should be pumping your points into is whatever ability you're going to be using. So like how Elementalist primarily falls upon fire magic to begin with, start pumping into fire magic so you can just boost up that damage right away. It'll speed up things in the beginning. It'll make life a lot easier. Your healing spells, typically, that you start with, depending on what classes, at least for Mesmer, Elementalist, Warrior, kind of, they're typically pretty good. And if they're not, best rule of thumb, just go get your Ranger secondaries and get Troll Engine. 1, you'll get a pet. 2, also, if you get a longbow and you don't have the bonus pack for the longbow that comes with that, just go ahead and pick up a longbow. You're going to need one just for pulling and stuff later, so just grab one now. It'll save you time in the end. The other thing I will highly advise against is stay away from that Shatter Gargoyle right there. He's level 3. There's plenty of gargoyles down this left path here, and you don't need to touch those over there. Don't risk going over to the Shadow Gargoyle because he is a mesmer. They're all mesmers, but he actually has the health draining ability, which will kill you pretty fast at this point when you don't have much health. So just avoid that at all costs. Especially if you're going for the Doom portion of everything. If you're not going for the Doom and you're just playing Reforged and you want to be Pre-Searing, go for it. Enjoy your time. But if you're trying to stay alive, just stay away from there. Typically, starting out, the only things I pick up are blue items, besides a longbow. I pick up the blue items. Really, the main thing that you're trying to do is get to around 100 gold, so that you can get a identification kit. And then, obviously, start collecting the blue items past that, because you can get the very valuable, and essentially that's going to give you an early quick stack of cash, so that you can start getting salvaging kits and such like that. So as I said, we'll keep going down this path. There are quite a few gargoyles that you will have to kill, so just keep plowing through. I promise you'll get there eventually. You're going to need to grind out the levels regardless, and right now this isn't a bad method of doing it. I would not suggest doing this if you're past level 3. Just because the amount of experience that you're going to get doing the gathering of all this stuff is kind of minuscule. So it's just better to do early on than later. And if you are going to do it later, I will also recommend, you don't really need the armor. And you can also leave your imp once you start getting later on into this. And he'll just start killing things. If he dies, he dies. They won't come back and aggro you. And 9 times out of 10, everything here he can handle on his own. So once you have 5 gargoyle skulls, just kind of run. He'll catch up eventually. So you're going to take that left path, and they're not going to go forward. If you go forward, you'll end up in this open area. There's more gargoyles up there, but you don't need to kill them. So anyways, you'll keep going forward. You'll get to this portion right here, where you'll see a little bridge. You will have to kill mostly everything in here, especially if you have your imp summoned. You probably could avoid doing it. But we're just going to kill them anyways. Like I said, a lot of what we're grinding right now is just getting those early 1, 2 levels. So that we're knocking out kind of 2 birds with 1 stone. The first collector that you're going to want to go to is that Carlin right there. She's going to be the one that collects the gargoyle skulls. So that's the main reason why we walked all the way over here. As well as, if you're going to stay in Pre-Searing, it's good to come this route anyways, because it knocks out getting the early piece of armor, as well as one of the zone hubs unlocked. It still doesn't hurt to pick up the extra gargoyle skulls for just some extra cash. Alright. So, come over to Carlene. You can leave that last one up. Get your boots. Go ahead and equip them. And just drop your other ones. It's a lot easier than trying to open your inventory, dragging in this trash can, stuff like that. ArenaNet, if you're listening, please make an addition to where I can just delete the items out of my bag instead of having to drag them into that. I would appreciate it. Alright, moving on. Cross this bridge, take the left. The reason we came out here was so that we can pick up this Bandit Hold location. Or not Bandit's Hold, Bandit's Estate. I apologize. And once we pick up Bandit's Estate, you'll see that there's the alloy seeds right there. So we're going to zone in. There's a merchant here as well, but you're going to zone back out. And, ooh, nice. Alloy seeds right outside. Go ahead and kill those alloy seeds. There are a couple things that we're looking for with this. Sorry, that was in an odd location, and I got a little confused there. I apologize. But yeah, you're going to come kill these alloy seeds. We're looking for their drops. I don't even think we can reach those. We're not going to bother trying to kill it. I don't know why it spawned up there. So yeah, we're looking for the drops that come from the unnatural seeds. There is another place that you can get these. It's just easier this way. There's also another thing that you're going to need anyways. From back here. That killing them this way will just be a little bit faster to knock out 2 birds in 1 stone. So kill all the alloy seeds you up here. As an elementalist with fire damage, you're going to burn through these things anyways, so it's not a huge deal. I wouldn't go too far over there. There's plenty that spawn right here. This is actually a really good spawn of them, but not one of them has dropped what we're looking for. There we go. So you're going to need 5 of these unnatural seeds. The other thing that you're going to need anyways, which there's more alloy seeds back here, is you're going to need to kill these bandits. The reason you're killing these bandits is so that you can get the worn belts. The worn belts is how you're going to get your early on expansion to your storage. So like I said, every path that we take, everything that we do on here is based off of efficiency, right? So we're knocking out 2 birds again in 1 stone. 1, we're leveling. These guys are a little bit higher level. So, and 2, we're getting the worn belts so that we can do our storage upgrade, as well as farming the unnatural seeds at the same time. So now we have the 5. So we've gotten our leg piece, we've gotten that, we've got our spider leg, so now we're going to resign. This is going to take us back to Baridan's Hold. You really could have not resigned. I did it, just not thinking about it. But you can go back to Ashford Abbey. You're done over here. Now that you're at Ashford Abbey, you're going to run outside. The other thing that I'm going to tell you, as you see these red iris flowers on the ground, try to collect them. They are very important to your early end, especially if you're staying in Pre-Searing. The helm upgrade that gives you the +1 to whatever stat you're going to be wearing. Also, by the way, while we're here, we're going to knock out this at the same time. So Humphreys, this guy right here, he's right in the middle of the city, right next to Ashford Abbey. Has your pouch. Go ahead and exchange for that and equip your pouch. That's the second upgrade that we have in this video so far. So now we're going to run, let's see, this is south of Ashford Abbey. I'm not going to keep playing this character, so I'm not going to gather those, but I have told you if you're going to do this, go ahead and track those. There's a bear chasing me. Just ignore the bear. So the next place that we're going to go up here is Foible's Fair. So there's 2 reasons why we're going to want this. There is a Vanguard quest. Vanguard quests are something that you can pick up once you reach level 10 in Ascalon. I'll show you the location of that, and I'll show you how to pick them up. There's a Vanguard quest for, it's called Hamlet something, but essentially he spawns right outside Foible's Fair. So that's one reason you're going to come here. The second reason is for your secondary elementalist abilities. This is where you learn your air magic. So you can come here, talk to her. Remember what I said. We're not turning in any quests, but in order to pick them up, you do have to accept it. You're not going to use these, so get rid of them. All right, here's the collector. So his name's Savage. He's going to need to collect 3 ice lodestones. Fun fact, the ice elementals are right here. As an elementalist, you also truck these things. Make that better, if you have the imp, you truck them even faster, because you're both casting fire damage, you kill them in like 2 shots. Makes life super easy. Now, I would suggest that one's kind of out of the way. Sometimes it'll spawn right here where I'm at. But it's not a big deal. There's plenty of ice elementals that you can kill. So just keep moving forward. This is also going to go into the place where we're going to farm. And also get our firestorm to make our farming a little bit faster. So here's the trainer for Elementalist to get Firestorm. This is a very, very major AoE, at least in Pre-Searing. Start the quest. You can say, I am ready. Now, if there was a zone that was a little bit closer and it wasn't such a run, this quest would be a good one to just slash resign and keep redoing, at least in the early levels, to get from level 1 to 2. Just because your imp will one-shot these things for the most part, and they come in like 4 or 5 packs, and it's super safe and super fast. The only reason I wouldn't suggest it, it is still doable, you can still do it. However, the only reason I wouldn't suggest it is just because of the fact of the matter that it's so far away from a restart zone. It just takes too long to get here by the amount of experience you're going to get, and they're only level, I think they're level 1s or 0s, so you're not going to get experience for very long. But it is a good way to early grind into that level 2 to get started into some of these farms that I'm getting ready to show you. Alright, cool. You finished that. You got the early quick experience from the probably about 12 mobs that are there. Now, next location. You're going to walk back forward towards the area. There's a cave off to the left path before you went straight forward to her. So if you're looking at the map, you came this route, you went straight in to talk to her. You're going to take the left route now, and you'll see this cave over here with ice elementals. And we got an icy lodestone. These are the items that you're trying to collect, is these icy lodestones. This is also the starting location in which I was going to tell you that you can come farm. So you can clear out the whole area around where the trainer is. They're all level 3 and they're super easy to kill. And it's pretty decent early on experience and very, very safe, especially if you're on an elementalist. If you haven't gotten a longbow or a flatbow or anything like that by now, go ahead and pick up a flatbow too. Flatbows have a good distance for range pulling as well. It's even more of a distance than your spells and abilities. So just go ahead and grab a longbow or a flatbow. If you run out of ice elementals, there are more down this path. Just keep going straight. I like to see what spawns from those. And then there's tons more down here too. This whole area over here in this corner has tons of ice elementals that you can come farm, stone elementals, such like that. The ice elementals are the ones that I would highly recommend. If you're trying to avoid killing the... Okay, cool. So this is the area that I would recommend. You can come up here. You can kill all these. Ice elementals, stone elementals. The hulking elementals are aggro. So that means that they will attack you when you walk up next to them. But yeah, this is a good location that you can do for early on grinding. Once you get your 3 lodestones, though, if you're going to stay here, go ahead, stay here, farm, finish out the farm, and then hit resign. We're going to return to Foible's Fair, and we're going to exit the zone. You're then going to go back to Savage. You're going to go ahead and exchange, put on your gloves, like I said, throw down your other gloves. And then what we're going to do is hit map, go to Ashford Abbey. We're going to zone out of Ashford Abbey, and we're going to go to the last location that we need to go. So we already collected the 2 items that you're going to need in order to get your last 2 pieces of gear. So the only thing that we're going to do now is run to the last zone location that you're going to need in order to get your gear. There is a fun fact. So this guy right here, he has prize-winning pig. So those prize-winning pigs, when they're outside of the... You'll see them running around, and you'll see the farmer outside of his pen. When he's outside of his pen and the pigs are running around, you can kind of guide his pigs back into that cage. And he will then walk into the cage, and a quest will appear above his head. that quest will give you 25 coins, and you can rinse and repeat it sometimes. So it just goes based off the zone of your map. So if you zone in, zone out, zone in, zone out, it'll be there. It's not really worth it. It's 25 gold. It's nothing to. It's just one of those things that I figured I'd note that is there. It's one of those side little Guild Wars lore things that I've noticed as we've been progressing through this. If you go down the right path, that'll take you to the ranger trainer. And then also, if you haven't gotten your worn belts yet, this is another good location that you can farm for them. Bear in mind, these guys are a little bit stronger, so it kind of hurts. But it's also good for experience. So like you see, we're getting 105 experience per kill. And all we have to do is pretty much continue running straight down this road. If they don't aggro to you, I highly advise not attacking them. If your imp aggroes them and you can run away, just run away. If it's going to get you killed, then just kill them. Alright, and we're level 4. Like I said, just keep pumping the fire magic. Every so often, you'll get to a point where you still have points left over and you can dump them into energy storage. You can go ahead and dump them in there. It's not going to hurt, but it's not going to really benefit you this early on. So, the guy that we're looking for is actually up there too. You can see him, Varus, this collector right here. However, he's also in the city that we're going to, so instead of veering off to the left and getting off the trail, it's much smarter to just do it all at once. So just keep going straight. We'll get to him eventually anyways, and you're going to have to run past him regardless, so it's not really saving any time. I don't know why they did that. I guess it's just something to do. I don't know if there's like lore behind it or what it may not be, but it's there. Now, one of the things that you could argue is that it's a little bit more efficient to just farm for the worn belts out here, and I would agree. However, you're still going to need the unnatural seeds. Now, there is one thing that I will show you a little bit later on when we're going into the farming across the wall and stuff. There is the Oath Hearts, which drop on natural seeds as well, and they're more commonly dropped by them. So if you don't want to do it all at once and you just want to save it till later, I'll show you a location that you could cut that whole portion of farming for the unnatural seeds and stuff and do the worn belts on this trial. And I would almost argue that that might be a little bit more efficient to an extent, depending on what level of efficiency you were trying to get to. This one just allows to where you're knocking out 2 birds, 1 stone with everything that you're doing. And it's also up to you in efficiency and when you want your belt pouch. So I like to try to get it as fast as possible so I can collect more items, because your inventory fills up quick in pre-storing or pre-searing. So I guess that's kind of your personal opinion. I'll show both routes. You can decide which route you want to do, which one seems more efficient to you. Alright, so we are going to clear all these out because there's a side route that we're going to take before we go to Fort Rannoch. This is another area that you can come farm early. The highest level these things go is level 2, so it's not going to give you much experience for very long, but it will give you a good amount of experience. So just keep that in mind. These brood collars are annoying, and they will aggro. A lot of them. Honestly, just stay calm. You'll be okay. They don't do much damage. You can tank it, and you'll kill them much faster than they'll kill you. Just keep up your heal. Go ahead and kill them. We're going to need to clear out most of this. You can dodge some of it, but depending on how the spawn is, like these guys are right in the way. So we're going to have to kill them. But sometimes this back here will be empty, and it'll all be up there, and you'll have to kill them up there. So one way or the other, you're probably going to end up killing them all. All right. Now, this is a very important vendor for two reasons. One reason, this is where you get your helmet. Second reason, well, actually, let me rephrase that. 3 reasons. One reason, this is where you get your helmet. Second reason, this is where you get your equipment storage tab. So normally you would get it at a merchant, but here in Pre-Searing you can't get it at a merchant, but you can get it from Professor Yackington, which is right in front of us. The second reason is the other vendor that you see right next to him, Nicholas Sanford. So that is a very important individual. So as you can see, Professor Yackington, he sells us your helmet and then also your small equipment pack. So you'll need around 100 of these iris flowers. You can either, one, save up enough platinum inside Pre-Searing in order to just buy the iris flowers that you need left over. People do sell them. They are something that is because of this vendor right here. So that is something you can do. Or you can just collect them a course of time. Next person, Nicholas Sanford. So he tells you what he needs. He needs 5 Grawl necklaces. Cool. Then you can come trade him for his gifts. So if you're familiar with the stuff that goes on, Nicholas Sanford is a vendor that everybody kind of chases after because you can get the gifts. Everybody's looking to seek out after those gifts. So they are very profitable. If I will say that he resets in Pre-Searing daily, and post-Searing he resets weekly. So you can farm out items a lot faster in Pre-Searing than you can post-Searing. If you have someone that can mule over the gifts and work with you, you can take those gifts over to post-Searing, and those gifts are going anywhere from 2 to 3 ecto, so you're going from around 15k. So it's a good little way to make a good amount of money pretty quick and pretty simply. And as you saw, that's 5 Grawl necklaces. It takes no time at all to grind out 25 plus. Because if you've been following my series, I actually have on my other one, I've been collecting them because they're also plant fibers. I've been collecting them. I think I almost have 100 as it is. So you can collect 25 in no time at all and be ready to turn those in whenever it comes up. It does change daily, so like I said, you'll have to keep an eye. The wiki, the Guild Wars wiki page, is a good place to go track down and see what he is collecting that day. So just check out the Guild Wars wiki page, and it'll tell you that. So without further ado, we made it to Fort Rannoch. Here's the Varus, the one that I was telling you about that was up on the hill. He'll give you the legs, and then the next portion that you'll get from down below, once we get there, I will say the Elementalist armor just looks so good. Is your top. So there you go. Now we have the Pre-Searing armor. Best in slot Pre-Searing armor that you're going to get. So this is the armor that you're going to be wearing for the rest of the time you're in Pre-Searing. Now, we've already covered one of the farms. The first farm was over here in Wizard's Folly, over by the Ice Elementals. You can farm those. The second farm is going to be picking up the quest up at the top of this hill from Baron Egan. And he gives multiple quests, but the quest that you're looking for specifically is Bandit Raid. You're going to hit accept, And then we will go do that one in a second, but there's another quest that you're gonna, if you want to do, that is the third method. Well, we'll cover this one first, so it'll be the second method that we cover. And it's Prince Rurik. So this is the more common one that a lot of people know about. I personally think that the Bandit Raid one that we're about to get into is probably a little bit more efficient. I personally did it last night, and I timed it against the ice boys, and I also timed it against Prince Rurik, and it's a lot more active, so you're not falling asleep, because Prince Rurik, as you'll see, this is pretty, it gets pretty boring sometimes. But also, we're going to be using the /resign method. Tip to /resign is zone into the zone you're going to, zone back into the zone you came from, and then right back into the zone that you're going to. What this does is it puts us, basically remembers, hey, this is where I'm going to spawn in. So when you hit /resign, you'll be right outside the gate. So you picked up the quest, Prince Rurik will be waiting outside the gate, you'll follow him, and this is the reason why I say the next method is probably a little bit more enjoyable, is because you're doing this run, and you're going to continue doing it for a very long time. It can be very boring, so just keep that in mind. But essentially, you're going to follow him, and you're going to follow him to this gate over here. Now, the one thing that I will tell you, stay behind Prince Rurik, let him aggro them so that he gets the damage. Go ahead and have /resign ready. And don't worry about dying per se. As long as this monk is up here, she'll keep you alive. But let Prince Rurik kill them. Okay, he's down to the last one. Go ahead and hit /resign. Hit it early. Well, okay, it didn't want to type. If you hit /resign early enough, before you kill the 4th char, essentially what it'll do, it'll prevent you from having to drop this quest. If you don't do it, then you're going to have to drop the quest, and you're going to have to run up here to Prince Rurik. So essentially, you're going to want to hit the /resign right as he kills the 3rd char, so that you have time to be able to hit the resign and go back to the outpost, because you have to be out of the zone prior to him killing that 4th char. With doing that, it'll essentially allow you to zone back in, run out, start the run all over again. That's the gist of the second farm that we're going to cover. The third farm, and so far probably my favorite farm, is the Bandit farm. So it's going to start at Ashford Abbey. You're going to run outside of Ashford Abbey. Trying to dodge this wolf because it just gets in the way. It's kind of annoying. And you'll see these Bloodsworn over here. You can also go and kill all these Bandit Raiders and stuff for some more experience if you so choose. They stay pretty grouped up and it's pretty easy to kill them. So essentially you can run over here, get them all bundled up, pop your imp, cast Firestorm, and then just start spamming Flare. They will all burn down, 84, 84, 84, and then you just hit /resign. And then essentially you'll just rinse and repeat that run. Now, a full run, we're at 3,164 XP right now. So we'll do a full run of what I enjoy doing, just because I think it's a little bit more enjoyable and it's a little bit more attentive. Is we kill all of them. Now, at some point, these fire starters are going to stop giving you experience. So, is it kind of annoying in that manner? Yes. Like I said, you're going to pop your imp once you get here. It's very rare that they're going to kill you. It's almost impossible unless you're not paying attention. So anyways, you'll go ahead, do that, and come over here and start killing these. Highly recommended, kill the fire starters first. They hurt a lot. And they're going to do a lot more damage than the melee is, because flare hits like a truck. Kill the fire starters. And then once you're done with that, recast your heal just to make sure. Come over here. Your imp will aggro these guys. They'll all get gathered up. Get your Firestorm going. And then start casting your Flare to start healing. Your imp's going to do your AoE damage, and then boom. So we started at 3,184, I believe it was. And we got all the way through that level into level 5. So you're going to continue doing this grind, and like I said, you're only going to get stronger. But that'll be your third grind, and you can continue this all the way until level 8, level 9. It starts to really slow down around level 8 or level 9. So the place that you're going to want to go after level 8 and level 9, I will show you on my other character. So we will be right back after these messages. Alright, so we're going to continue down this path, and it's going to be full of Gruul. There is a safer method than going straight down this road. I highly recommend keeping Troll Engine up, especially while you have that bleed, or just waiting out the bleed. Unfortunately, it's very dangerous if you try to do it without that. So, if you have the Across the Wall quest, and the reason why I said if you want to come to this area earlier, highly advise you don't go straight through here. You kill whatever you have to cut over this way. If you're looking at the map, instead of going straight into Pike and Square, which we'll get to what that is in a second, you're going to take a left right before you go down the path to Pike and Square. You come kill this Oakart. Maybe 1 or 2 Oakarts here. Not a huge issue either way. Just come kill him. He'll die pretty quick. Run on by. Now, avoid these Gruul. You'll kill them in a second, but avoid them for now. Do not go anywhere near these Char. No zone until you're ready to start killing Char. Any level before level 10 on almost any character, unless you know what you're doing and you're very experienced, this is a no-no zone. Until you're level 10. Do not go there. Anyways, the Across the Wall quest will allow Ben Wolfson to join your party. Now, right now, the way the game looks at it is I am still partyless. I have all these different minions, things like that, but I still don't have a party. Ben Wolfson does a lot of damage, but he cannot take damage. So just be aware of that. If you're playing a range class, he also likes to stack on top of you. So sometimes, Ben Wolfson is more of a pain than he is a benefit. He will get you killed sometimes. So take him at your own risk, but he does make killing Char a little bit easier early on so that you can push into the Char a little bit earlier. As well as, it's pretty simple to just use him killing the Gruul because he one-shots most of the Gruul here. So that's one thing that you can look at. I'd say if you're spending most of the time fighting the Gruul and the Oakarts with him, you'll be pretty safe. But yeah, so once we've killed all of them, you can go this route when you're comfortable, and when you have a high enough level, you can go that route. I'm going to show you the route that's safest. So what I would suggest, if you have not been into Pike and Square, first you'll come into Pike and Square. Go into Pike and Square and then rezone out. Go back over here. That's throughout the Ben Wolfson. Grab Ben Wolfson and then come back to this location. This will be where the start of the run for a round that you're going to do, probably from around 8 until level 10, roughly, is going to start. So you'll run up here, aggro these guys, and you'll try to stay around this corner. What this does for you is this allows all the ranged guys to just kind of get taken out pretty simply. They can't hit you from here, and you can then run around. They're aggroed onto all the people that are doing ranged attacks, and you can kill them. Now, I have the bleed again. Be very careful with the bleed. Please pay attention to it. I got off last night because I almost died to the bleed, not thinking about the bleed. Like I said, I've spent a lot of time playing ranged characters in Pre-Searing. It's the safest route. Melee, there's lots more stuff that you have to worry about, especially if you're thinking about doing char. But I digress. That is what you do. So typically, if you zone out a pike and square, you went to pick up Ben, and then you just cleared through here, obviously all these guys will still be here. Go ahead, clear them. Now, this portion is the only portion that you have to be careful. Rule of thumb, if you're familiar with Toolbox, which I have not messed with yet. However, I do know that there is a way. There's a way through Guild Wars Toolbox to set a keybind for your resign button. I highly suggest doing that. I have not done it yet. However, I know there is a way. I figured that out last night. Now, this group of char, this is the problem. They run into right here. Sometimes they like to run here, then run back, and then run back. Just pay attention to their movements. Wait until they're 100% settled. They'll settle in back there. Watch your inner circle, and then you're good to run. So as they settle in for the first part, they'll just kind of go chill. Alright, once you've made it past about this line, you're in the clear. Well, for the most part. Now this starts the second portion of the farm. So from around, like I said, around 8 to 10, because you're going to spend most of leveling at the Bandit Zone, the Icy Boys, whatever it may be, you'll come over here and you'll kill all the char that are located, or the Grawl that are over here. Do not, highly advise, do not go into the char. If you need assistance, because you're getting trucked, you can bring the melee guys over here. If you have a pet, they're going to sit there and attack your pet, but they do have a knockdown. So keep that in mind. If you are struggling to heal, don't go in there and fight them until you have Troll Engine up or some sort of heal up ready. So get it up, then go in and start combat. I'm being a little bit more aggressive here because I'm at a point in a level where I can be a little bit more comfortable killing these level 3 char. I wouldn't advise that if you're just starting out here. Come off one group at a time, take it slow, especially if you're going for dooms. If you're not going for dooms and you're just doing reforged and you don't mind dying, go ahead, die. Test out your limits, see what you can do. If you're going for dooms, just take it slow, be patient. It's one of the biggest things I've learned the entire time I've been doing this. Don't make the mistake of thinking you're better than you are. Even the best people die. And the time that I've spent in streaming and stuff like that, I've heard from plenty of people saying, yeah, I died from a little mistake, whatever it may be, right? These are people that have multiple GWAMM achievements on multiple different characters. Remember, the Corona is the one that puts the bleed on. You're not going to be able to dodge it. The idea is try to kill her before she puts it on you. But didn't work. So now I have the bleed. Be careful with the bleed. Dangerous. I'm going to keep saying that. Just so that if everybody hears it, they know. Bleed, dangerous. Don't do it. If you have it, just be cautious. Not saying avoid combat. I'm saying be cautious about combat. Remember, the hammer guys have a knockdown, which means that if you're casting your heal or something, more than likely they're going to try to interrupt you. So essentially, you're going to come around, kill that group of Grawl. There's going to be a group of Oak Carts over here. This is also a good route to do if you're trying to collect your irises. A lot of times they'll be anywhere from 2 to 3. Avoid these. Don't touch them. In another video, we will start going over char grinding and stuff like that when I get back to the point where we're going to do char grinding. But for now, this is just the early levels before you get to char grinding. kill the oak heart, and you're going to come across here. Now, dangerous number 1. These iron hearts, especially at a lower level, if you're doing this early on, these iron hearts can kill you, and you want to try to engage them by themselves. They hit hard. So just be aware of that. If you can kill them fast enough, like I just did, then it's not a huge deal. But they will hit you hard. So just be aware of that. If you're at a lower level and you're not killing them fast enough, you're probably going to get hit pretty hard, so just be ready. Ready to heal, pay attention to your health, keep it high. Other than that, you're going to keep clearing this area out, killing all the oak hearts, iron hearts in the area. Like I said, be careful with the iron hearts. Depending on what build you're running, it may not even matter. You might kill them. This is also the portion in which I was going to say. If you're not in a hurry to get your early armor, this is the place that I would say come to get your seeds. So these oak hearts and iron hearts, drop them pretty commonly. So you can come up here, kill them, get your seeds, and then just go to Fort Rannoch after that. Highly recommend you still go to Fort Rannoch first so that all you have to do is teleport there, but the option's up to you. But yeah, especially if you're an elementalist, you blow through these. Especially if you have the imp, like you're just going to kill these very quickly. As you can see, this is pretty dense. Stay away from this area. Do not go there. And depending on what class you're playing, even on a warrior, like right now, I'm still kind of contemplating what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do char farming, because it's very dangerous being up in the thick of it. You don't have much of an exit and you can't really run away. So just understand that like it can be dangerous and you're running a risk by doing that early. So if you're willing to take the risk and you're going for dooms, then go ahead. But just know that there is a risk there. So as I was saying, this dude hits hard. I'm a warrior with higher armor, and he's still hitting me for 26s, 30s at times. So with that being said, that means he's probably hitting elementalists, anything except for ranger, for probably around 50. Alright, and so that concludes that portion of the run. As you can see, I'll leave this up for a few seconds, but this is the route. If you were to start from the wall, you'd come up here, clear out this whole area, you run back, grab Ben, swing back around, kill all the Grawl there, run up to this portion of the Northlands, run back down, clear out the whole center area as you're running up, avoid any of this, There are more grawl back here that you can get, but it's so minuscule. Most of this is all char back here, so just avoid this whole area. Anyways, you're going to swing around here, come around this. This is where all the oak carts are. You kill all them. And then typically you'd slash resign, but since I started from the wall, I'm not going to. But if you listen to what I said when we were over by Pike and Square and you zoned in and you restarted, went grab Ben, and then went through the route from Pike and Square, then all you would do is go back to Pike and Square, rinse and repeat. Hey guys, this is the end of the video. I thank you for sticking around and learning a little bit more about everything that went on. I apologize for how long it was. I do know that it was a long video. I tried to clip out most of it. A lot of the routes and stuff that are in there, I really just didn't want to clip out. I did try to fast forward them. I'll fix it to where I can fast forward it a little bit better in the next video. But like I said, thank you for sticking around. If you like the content, if you want to see more of the content, and you want to watch the content get better, you want to see me continue this journey, follow me over on Twitch, hit the like, hit the subscribe here on YouTube, and I hope that I get to keep helping you guys with your journey and your growth of becoming further and better players at Guild Wars 1, as well as eventually in other games as well. So I hope you can join me over on Twitch for the journey on going towards Guam, and then hopefully we'll see you there.